missing divide. You feel it in your system, you want it more for a new flavors. All the shit so bustin'. Finger licking, yeah, we cooking up a super hot. In the kitchen, Michelin, irresistible. Open wide, have a bite, make it mine all the time. Finger licking, yeah, we cooking up a Super Bowl. In the kitchen, Michelin, irresistible. Feeling prime, state of mind. Finger licking, yeah, we cooking up a Super Bowl.
This is part 1 of episode 4. Welcome to Stay In Podcast, a podcast to stay from stay.
Thanks everyone for watching. This is the Stay In podcast, and this is episode 4. We have Stray Cloud, Nero, and can't remember what you went by.
Leah, no.
Leah, no, that's right. I would lose my head if it wasn't stuck on, I swear. Who I'm seriously worried about right now. He is not well. If you see the videos from last night, he's not 100%. Plus he hasn't bubbled for 2 days. Seriously.
Oh, I thought he bubbled this.
Well,
He did
he
it
like
earlier today.
did he? And I just missed it.
Yeah.
I loved his solo stage, and you saw him smile so big when Stay was singing to him. I was so happy for him.
I think honestly they're tired and they still have to
Oh.
fly to the US for Tuesday. So
Yep, I know. But at least they can sleep on the plane, I guess. I think most of them do.
except for Chan.
That's a long flight. I think Chan even slept on the way to France. Or maybe not. I can't remember. I always worry about him. I don't think they get enough rest. Han didn't sleep for 2 nights, this week? Because he's working on songs. I'm like, that is not the way to keep healthy. Speaking from experience. But I'm glad that I just hope they take care of themselves. I have been posting a lot in the ground floor. I don't even know what all I have posted in the ground floor because it was a list of things. We do have some news in there. We have our podcast link in there. We have so much news. I didn't even go through it. But there's always tons of news. I add stuff in there every day. Stay Shop. I've posted some cards that I got that if y'all can find are so worth the money. It's a gorgeous set. They are the 4x6, I think is what they are. They're pretty big. And then you have Sugar J1's cutouts. I'm gonna have to grab one of her cutouts as soon as I figure out what I want. Because they're really nice. And I guess we'll just slip right into a Stay Care, Maze of Memories, and Stray Kids lore.
I will be right back.
Okay. You want to go ahead, Claudia?
Last week went over a few more of the vocabs. I guess we can go over a few more, but there's not really a lot left. Let me see.
I need to send you the rest of mine, don't I?
I
What did
think
I
you
send
sent-
you through?
I think you sent me a good amount. That's basically
I
what
know.
I'm gonna pull off from what I see. But I haven't added
Well,
it
why-
to the actual Discord yet.
Well, I was going to do an edit on vocabulary and I just couldn't. I could not get excited about it. So it was super hard for me
It's
to
a
go
lot.
through.
It's a lot of vocab.
Well, and not only that, it's like it's so boring. It's like, how do you make vocabulary exciting? You just don't. It just
Yeah, I know.
um I
When you're actually
have
like talking in the like with the vocab, it's easy because like you just slip right into it, but you have to know what it
yeah.
means first, and that part's never fun to learn.
Let me see, what is this? I know I think I got through some of F with you. I've got some
Yeah.
F through F or F through H. Um, I know I've got some other ones probably in here. I'll send them to you.
Okay. Yeah, I
Like
know last week.
I had pages of this stuff, and I just between trying to find a background picture for some of this stuff, it was just like so I just kind of dropped it.
So one of the words I don't know if we mentioned last week was fan service. This one always
Answer.
makes me laugh. Yeah. So fan
I
service, what
had
that
I
basically is,
had never heard of fan service until K-pop.
you know what? Yeah, I don't think a lot of like international like celebrities over here in the US, they do a lot of the fan service. They mostly just like do their own thing. But
Hmm.
over there in Korea, South Korea, they do a lot of fan service to, I don't know, I guess like over there is mostly based off appearances and how they come out to their fans. And Stray Kids definitely has that one in the bag. Like they do definitely do a lot of fan service.
They do a lot. And if it's not fan service, it's kind of scary.
Yes. So basically, what that means is when idols and actors do something just to please fans, even if it's not necessarily or relevant to progressing the plot line or performance. This can range from playing into a bromance on screen to body rolling on stage, shower scenes, and movies. Now, the bromance, they definitely got that one in the bag because there's like, I can, at this point, it is very difficult to tell sometimes, especially
Yeah.
with Min Song, I think that's what the trip name was. But they definitely are really, really close that it could come off as a sort of like
A relation
relationship,
yeah.
but
A
they definitely.
yeah. Um I think that's kind of where the Agio and the costumes, the childless costumes, I think that's kind of where all of this comes in because we don't have fan service here. And so to us, them doing fan service is like they're 20. So, I mean, other than the whole skinship and everything like that, sometimes you just can't defend them anymore. But yeah, I think for most of them, the dressing up in the little cutie outfits and stuff, I think a lot of that is fan service.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure that they were pretty embarrassed when they had to do some of that stuff, but they
They grew,
definitely like fit it. They
I
fit
think,
into that role.
yeah, I think they grew up around it, so it probably is not as embarrassing as what it would be to us.
And I think Lino still gets a little he gets a little
Well,
embarrassed.
I know Hunjin hates the Agio and stuff like that. And you can kind of see it during the during the fan meets where he's just like, but he always puts on this face, and I'm glad he's able to do it for them because I would just sit there and be annoyed the whole time. But he loves Stay, so I guess that would be the big difference in it. He would do anything that Stay wanted. Well,
Not everything,
mostly,
mostly everything.
mostly. So
And the next word would be fighting. Now this one, a lot of people over here, when we hear fighting, we think a completely different thing. But over there, fighting basically means like good luck, or you could do it, or we got this. It's just something that you hear like your biases say, or other Koreans use to just show encouragement and support of each other. The next one would be finger heart, where they do the little finger heart to
yeah,
show like their little love gesture to fans and each other. which is Flower Boy, a highly conventional, attractive Korean male who puts extreme effort into his appearance, including fashion, makeup, and hairstyling. Although the look of these young men has evolved, they have been a mainstay of Korean culture since the Silla Kingdom between 57 BC and 8935. In Stray Kids, who do we think is the most Flower Boy? Felix?
Felix. Felix and Hyunjin.
Yeah, you're right. They're definitely
Because Hyunjin spends more money on his hair care products than I do. And I have a lot of hair.
oh yeah.
That's when everybody else isn't using his.
Right. Oh, we thought it was in there to share, but they never replace it. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like my house. It's like, oh, the Magic Fairy hair product person just came through and dropped us all off a bottle. Really? No, it comes from somewhere. Someone's paying for it.
Yeah, he's probably used to it since he has he's a single child, right?
Yeah, he's an only child. But I think that when that happened, they were still like only 2 years in because they were all living together still. So yeah, I could
Yeah.
see how that would be annoying. You'd go in there to pick up your $40 bottle of hair product stuff and it's empty, and you're like, I just bought this.
Most of them have like siblings, so they're used to sharing, like just using each other's stuff.
Yeah, except for Lino and Hyunjin, but still, I mean, I could see that would be a serious nuisance. It's like going to the fridge and you have it's like Bane Chan when he put his ice cream in the company freezer and he goes in there and he's like, where's my ice cream? He's like, I had my name on it. Where's and one of the
Yeah, it was like
NMX
wife,
or something
right?
like
No,
that. Yes,
yeah,
it was
one of the
one of the
brokers.
that she finally admitted that she's the one that stole his ice cream. It's like, poor Chan.
I mean, did he have his name on it?
Supposedly. Who knows?
That's all the vocabs we're gonna do today. For the Maze and Memories, we did episode 1, part 2 last time of the Stray Kids show. This week we'll
The surviving show.
mhm. This week will be the part 3, which is the finale of the show. Oh no, actually last week we did part 1, right? Episode 1, part 1.
Because I think isn't there like 8 episodes or something like that?
No, I thought there was more than that. But no, it might be 8 and it's broken up into like different parts.
Yeah, I think when I watched it, it was on YouTube, and I don't think I got like all of the episodes. It was pretty chopped up. Like you had to go in and look for stuff. So
Yeah, this one. So last week we talked about how like the competition of 2 team and how the Project Boy team is what they were formerly called, started the competition before the showcase, the final showcase, to where if they debut so
Debut.
this one debut
Your
so
word of the week.
this week, this episode that we're on, it begins with the JYP trainee showcase, where a bunch of talented young trainees get to perform for the judges, which JYP is one of the judges there, and basically try to prove that they're ready to debut. Now I'm gonna be like,
See, I haven't even seen those. The show that started with me is they were already a group, but they weren't competing against another group. So I don't even know what episode I even started in on, but it had to have been further because I didn't see any of that. I need to go back and rewatch.
so you didn't see
Yeah.
it before. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, it's first you have 2 team startup, and they do the performance, which was pretty good. Like I really love their vocals in it. Their dance was a little robotic to me, just like I mean, which is understandable because they were kind of nervous since this was their performance that decided whether they would debut or not. Debut.
I think they ended up with ITZY, by the way.
What's up?
What?
The girls from the reality show.
Mhm.
Some of the members are ITZY.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I went and checked because I started watching it with my niece finally, and I'm like,
And
oh my
ITZY
god, that was from ITZY.
and ITZY
I think-
debuted after them, I think, because see what I was thinking was that them and a girl group also went up against each other before they decided to go with the boy project, which was our kids. And that's where I don't know if I dreamed it or I don't know. I couldn't even tell you where I got it.
ITZY was 2019 when they debuted, so yeah,
So they were
right after.
after. Yeah, they were after.
Yep, right
Yeah.
after.
Nice.
Because like ITZY's like 4 or 5 members, I think. And I'm like, okay, I know that one didn't make it, I know. So I was like, oh, look, ITZY.
Hmm.
Well, their performance kind of like made the boy project kind of nervous after seeing it, especially since like Joey P seemed to have liked their performance, and he definitely saw that 2 Team could debut. When the boy project team went on, they were about the same thing. Like they definitely brought a good performance. Like when I first saw it, I was kind of a little nervous that they were gonna make a few mistakes like they did in the rehearsal, which I'm sure they also were a little nervous about as well, because they definitely were shaking. And I don't know if anybody's mentioned this, but you know how like whenever Felix, whenever he gets nervous, he likes to check his pulse.
Mhm.
So I definitely did notice that in before they were about to start performing, when they were watching 2 Team perform, Felix was just like this the whole time, like definitely
Yeah,
nervous.
you definitely start picking up their little ticks, their anxiety. Yeah.
Yep. At the end of the performance, JYP did mention that they kind of met his expectations, luckily, because he was kind of like nervous that they wouldn't be able to, but luckily they did. So whenever their performance was over, each of the teams went up to the stage, and JYP came up to basically like give them their final evaluation before choosing who will get to move on. And he did give some compliments first, which before he gave the compliments, I kind of felt like he was it kind of felt like he was giving a jab at Channy, because he was just like, oh, which member did you see up here the most during the showcase? And of course, you know, Channy's been up there the most, so everybody looked towards him, and he was like, yeah, this is like my 8th showcase I've been a part of. I was like, damn, you just gonna keep
That's-
calling our boy out like that? I'm sure he got like, he definitely looked like he was kind of like, okay, that hurt a little bit mentioning that.
Yeah.
But then he moves on to get little compliments, and one of the first people he did compliment was Bing Chen. He mentioned how, you know, his rapping, his dance, and his vocals were all like a good combo, and he did good up there. But he always mentions about Bing Chen's like charisma, and how he never seems to want to like stand out from the group, and he always like blends in. And that he needs to start being like more selfish and standing out a little bit more, which I feel like he did. Like I liked his performance. He definitely caught my eye, but you know, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
And
And he still doesn't do that. He still doesn't stand out like that. He lets the kids shine. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he already put so much into it anyways. Like, what's the point? Like, he gets recognition enough from like the songs that he writes and the music that he helps produce. And like, I'm sure he just like, you know, the other members need some attention too. So he probably just steps back to let them shine.
It's just dad letting them shine.
I think for him, the whole purpose was for them to move forward as a group. So he didn't want anyone to necessarily outshine anybody else, especially
Yeah.
him, because he's been doing it longer. He wanted to pass on that knowledge and the skills and everything. And that's why I think you see a lot of behind the scenes stuff where he was so hard on some of the members because he wanted everybody to succeed together
I
and move forward
I
together.
I always wonder with the elimination of Lino and Felix, if he didn't go to JYP and say, yo, I'm not going to debut this group without these two. I wonder how much he had involved in that. Because yes, he was shocked when they walked in, but he wasn't as shocked. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I
I think he was more
wonder-
shocked. I think he was just more shocked at the fact that maybe he was just like, oh wow, JYP actually listened.
Yeah.
I wonder how much the performances suffered with their absence
Yeah.
that they needed the addition. I mean, look at what the group is now. Felix has brought so many stay just with the vocals.
Yes.
Never mind, he is super easy on the eyes. Same with
And
Lino.
super cute. Yeah.
But, you know, he has brought like the whole reason why I even started listening to Stray Kids was flipping through my FYP on TikTok and cooking like a chef. I'm a 5-star Michelin. And it's like,
Mine was-
I'm in,
yeah.
I'm in. Sign me up.
Mine was Maniac. Like Hyunjin brought me in with his long blonde hair backdoor thing because it just kept popping up, and I'm like, I don't listen to this. Why is this on my page? And it just like literally a month kept popping up every single night. And before I finally decided, okay, I'm just gonna go down this rabbit hole. And then like the next rabbit hole was the Felix part of Maniac, where I was cleaning house and I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to these. And I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And I had, there's that other little rabbit hole, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. Like, I'm still down there.
But I think I genuinely wonder how much the performances suffered with the absence of the deep vocals of Felix and two main dancers in the group.
I think it suffered a lot.
I think
I think the morale was probably down, so their energy was down. They were just not, they were a team, and Bang Chan picked these people for a reason. And I don't know how long they were actually together before they even got to the point of being on the survival show, but I have a feeling they had been together for a while.
well, Lino, before he joined Stray Kids, he was only in training for 8 months, so it had to be like within that span of time. But Hyojin and Ian actually were together for like a good while too as trainees because they trained together. So a lot of them knew each other. And then obviously 3RACHA, they started like soon after Changbin became a trainee.
But even with 3RACHA, Changbin didn't become a Stray Kid until like he was like
After
the 7th
Hyojin and
kid.
Ian. No, he
Yeah.
was the fourth.
Oh, was he the 4th? I thought he was more like one of the last ones.
No, he was either the fourth or the fifth, like the fourth after Bang Chan.
But you would think he would have been before IN because Han was number 1.
Yeah, see, that's what I didn't
But,
understand either. So it made me wonder if he like decided to become part of Stray Kids after those two already decided that they were going to.
We may never know. But yeah, it's definitely discussion to have because you would have thought with 3RACHA, it would have been Han and Benny 1 and 2. And then, whoever else after that. But it wasn't. I mean, he was further down the line.
Just the deciding factor of whether or not he wanted to just pursue rap with 3RACHA, or did he actually want to take some convincing to actually join the entire group?
Yeah.
Especially since technically that group was an experimental project. So I don't know if he wanted to like stick within that group that he felt comfortable, that he felt would be good to debut together, and or like start a whole new group with other members and like risk not being able like
To debut at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if we can just get them on here, we can ask them all these questions.
Right.
I can't wait for the tell-all. I can't wait for the tell-all book. I hope they go and do the same similar thing to what BTS has done. I'm
Mhm.
very interested in what all happened behind the scenes. Thing that they were doing, that they were having Hyunjin do the
Same.
computer and like
I just wonder when that's gonna happen because they said they want to keep going for years and years until they're like in their 50s. So like, are they gonna wait until like they're no longer gonna want to do it, or are they gonna wait like just wait until like nobody's gonna care what happened
Well,
behind?
I know that BTS, that tell-all book didn't come out till they started going into the military, so maybe.
that's what I think is going to happen. I think that he was told to sit closer on the one side and then start doing the other side projects, and then start doing some more in-depth interviews, and they're not like under the thumb,
Under the thumb.
that they're going to either let things accidentally slip, and then they're going to have to either do damage control or explain the situation entirely to, number one, not throw the company entirely under the bus. But like, I want to know what happened behind the scenes in that one Chan was super pissed because I want to know what happened with that.
I had read somewhere that they had all new staff. But even as all new staff, if you know these kids are going to do a live, don't you think you might have some kind of responsibility in getting stuff together?
Well, and then he was getting pissed because he and then they had wanted Hyunjin to do the computer, but he didn't know how to do the computer and nobody was helping him. And it's like, number one, Chan does enough. Like if the company is going to give them staff to be helping out and, being with them, step up.
Yeah.
He's already producing, they're already doing their own, all of their own stuff. Like you're really being asked the bare minimum.
Yeah. And you could tell, man, with everyone except Soonmin, which nothing phases Soonmin, I have learned nothing phases him. But with everybody else, the looks on their faces, when Chan walks across, I'm like, ooh, I would not want to be on the other end of that.
Side eye.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, Mad Channy's a scary Channy.
Actually, I kind of enjoyed Mad Channy, but
now Mad Soonmin is kind of hot, I've noticed, but yeah, but not much phases Soonmin. So he didn't know, but everybody else, you can see their eyes and their face just like, so I would not have wanted to be on the other end of that.
I want to know also what happened behind the scenes after Chan did the Channy's room with the spicy noodles.
Oh.
Because of him saying, like, I almost cussed. I want to take my clothes off.
We may not want to know what happened after that because I'm sure different areas of a room was involved. Like he was dying. I was like, God, that is so me and spicy food. So it's
what I actually can't wait for is, you guys have seen the lives that like Jungkook has done since like doing on his own. Cannot wait for the lives that we get from Chan in a similar vein. That man is going to be undressed under the blanket. Like you're gonna see so much.
It cracked me up because I had just
slips up and forgets there's a mirror in the background.
Oh my God. I had just started like kind of dipping my toe into BTS when the guys started going off to the military. So I had just logged on to Jungkook's live when he sat on the couch and fell asleep, and there was like 13 million people watching and just listening to him snore. I died.
Hilarious.
I laughed so hard. I 15 minutes I watched. I wasn't actually sitting watching, but I was laughing the
It's
entire time.
hilarious.
It was.
But
It was. He's like, I'm really tired. I'm just gonna lay down real quick, and then that was all she wrote.
It's not
Or
that
even
I
when he
don't
just got up, he got up
bath
to the
drop with
bathroom,
the filter.
and nobody left. It's like, so you got 13 million people sitting out here waiting for Jungkook to come out of the bathroom and finish his live, and nobody left. It was funny. Yeah,
I would
if
not
they
be
ever.
surprised if Kenny ends up doing something like that soon, just
Oh,
because since
I could
they
totally
took
see it.
away his controlled area of Chen's room, he's probably gonna go into like his own room. He's gonna start doing what Jungkook did.
Well,
What I
he has sent
like-
us bubble messages that are very suspicious, like pants dropping to the shower floor and things moaning under the bed covers. So yeah, I could totally see Channy once he's unleashed doing all sorts of things.
And when the gloves are off, we're gonna get some weird shit from Lino.
Oh,
Other than what we're
Lino,
already getting.
the only thing I expect from Lino is the unexpected.
First of all, I feel like most of the boys do
I
have
totally
some
think what they're
sort of,
going
like,
for with him
filters
being in
to
all
where they
white
won't,
and the
like,
blonde
they
hair
know the
and-
limit.
And
But I feel
with
like
his
Felix, he doesn't
appearance in
know like
Social
that
Path
limit,
video.
and I feel like he doesn't quite like understand, like, I don't know, like he definitely, like that part where he's in that sauna or whatever, like he definitely shows a lot of stuff. He's like, oh, the phone's not gonna fall, it's okay. It's like you can't really see much, but you could definitely see something. I feel like he will definitely slip. He'll be one of the few that will slip and accidentally show something he's not supposed to show. He's basically like another Jungkook. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
know something's happening until like later on when someone points it out.
But
Yeah.
Felix, without infantilizing him, he still has like this naive
Innocence,
innocence
yeah.
to him.
Yes.
And it's not that he is a baby. I know that there's not that there is definitely things that he understands, but he plays into the angelic thing. So like they're definitely going for the angelic thing, but he's still very much, although he is definitely not the Maknae, you would not necessarily know that if you were looking from the outside.
Everybody thinks he's the Maknae.
Yeah.
I mean,
Felix and Han.
even the Maknae treats Felix like the Maknae. I mean, I was watching a thing today. It was just like a clip of the two kids' room with Felix and Ian, and he told Felix, he says, when you hug me, my body loses all of its energy. Like he's just like putty in Felix's hands, and Ian doesn't let anybody touch him. So for him to, and I think Lino even pointed this out, that with Felix, Ian is just, he's just,
Everybody is
Yeah.
different with Felix.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yes.
is. And I think that he just, when it boils down to like him giving us gifts, I love you, honey. I've got more pictures of you on my camera roll than I do my family.
yeah.
Same.
My
I
thing
get
is
it.
hooked up to my thing is hooked up to my TV, for the screensavers, and I don't think I've seen a family picture come across in several months.
But I think is, of all of them, like they are all grateful, but I think he just has this, I want to give you everything. So he tries so hard and to be diplomatic about it. Like when he stepped in it, and he didn't intentionally step in it, But when he stepped in it with the 2-color hearts, when he changed it on Bubble, and everyone's like, he's coming out. And it's like, come on. Like, you guys, you're looking for stuff when it is a
Yeah.
nothing burger. Like,
Yeah.
you are putting words in their mouths. They have a role to play for certain things. And he's like, basically like, people chill. It was supposed to be a spoiler for hair colors, like pink
Yeah.
or blue.
Yeah.
Relax. But
People
I
don't.
don't think we've ever seen Mad Felix. We've seen Mad pretty much everybody else. We have not seen Mad Felix, but I feel like his default would be to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just like they said, when he has a disagreement with another member, his go-to is, let's talk about this, and then he snuggles with them for the rest of the night to sleep. Like, that's his go-to. He needs that that comfort, and to know
I think
that
he
no
needs
one's
that
going to
reassurance.
sleep angry at him.
Mhm.
I think he's just a beautiful person. He's literally walking love. He loves everybody. And it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Like, he literally is just a big walking love. He walks around and he just loves.
I feel like
So
Felix is definitely one of the members that are more transparent. Like, there's really nothing he really hides. Or
I don't
anything.
know that he would be able to hide things. I think that he's
He's
so,
got to be a
he
horrible
just,
liar.
yeah, he vomits truth, whether he's supposed to or not. You know, all these other members are like holding this stuff real close to their chest, and then, you know, Felix is out here giving us, sometimes it's very obvious hints. I don't know.
I
Felix
think
is
one of the
just,
things that he mentions is that whenever he does send those pictures, he's always mentioning, like, make sure to mention that they're the original pictures. So it, like,
yeah.
I feel like he feeds in a little bit into that drama where people like to mention how they like to whitewash Felix. So he's just like,
Mhm.
oh, here's the original picture if y'all want it, you
Yes.
know, like on how it's supposed to be. And he's
Well,
just like, I don't really care.
I think a lot of that is because he knows Stay loves his coloring and his freckles. We love that about him. I don't think they got that too much in the early years, because even now they still whitewash these boys, and they're just, really, just stop. They are so beautiful. Sunmin sent a picture on his Instagram. Did y'all see it? No
Yeah.
makeup. And I thought, he is so gorgeous. Like, he is just beautiful. I don't know why they have to whitewash him and put all this makeup. I mean, I can see it, you know, during stage and blah, blah, blah. But like, just on a normal day, they are beautiful. They do not need anything.
1,000% agree. I think Felix, though, of all of them, is the most self-conscious about that, because
Mhm.
like you were talking about Flower Boy, I think was the terminology.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where he is super conscious about all of that. The
Mhm.
biggest thing I worry about with all of them is their hair. I love that
Oh,
they
yeah.
changed their hair colors and all of that. Channy is going to literally lose all of his hair if they keep
Yeah.
bleaching it.
Well, they
Like, if
don't.
they would have done another dark color, it would have been fine. Or even put wigs on them. Like, I don't care. But you keep bleaching the snot out of this poor man's hair. Hyunjin had done like a close up of the back of his hair, that he had put it up or something. And all I could see was all of the split ends from how fried they had his hair.
And see, I don't know if it's just not a thing over there. We have so many vegan options that you do not have to bleach as far as color. You know, we have Arctic Fox and Lime Crime and Manic Panic and all this stuff. You don't have to deconstruct your color and then to add this on. You can just add it on, and it's beautiful, and it smells so good, and it doesn't damage your hair. I don't know why they don't use it over there. I mean, as many K-pop artists that are over there literally frying their hair once a month, they need to find a better solution.
Yeah.
I've seriously thought
chemical-
about buying a whole set and like just shipping it to them, but it would cost more than I make in a month. So
It's the chemicals. Our chemicals could be illegal over there, so that's why they don't use the vegan options.
could be.
Okay,
But you can't
they,
tell
the
me
amount of
bleach.
stuff,
You can't
but-
tell me bleach is not a chemical. Like that stuff should just, I mean, I can't say anything. I can't say ban it because I use it, but you know what I mean.
yeah, but the amount of like beauty products that they have over there, you would think that they would find a better option, whether they use our products or
Yeah.
not. Like, I'm sure they could have come up with something.
Well, because they just bleached Felix's hair again. He'll be
Mhm.
the next one. You
That's
know, and
bald,
he
yeah.
was even saying in the video with Hyunjin that they couldn't get all of the blue out, so they're gonna have to bleach it again.
Oh, blue was horrible. Like, don't ever wear blue unless you're committed for a year because that crap don't come out. It just doesn't.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see Felix with the side shave again.
Oh, like
I
in
love
God's Me,
Oh
the
yeah.
the undercut shave. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Felix is just so pretty and everything. It's like I can't even choose anymore.
But he looks if you've ever seen the videos where people have done Zoom videos and then they do it like a green screen thing, and then their skin is so white that all you can see is their eyes. 'Cause I feel like if Felix did a Zoom, all you would see is his eyes.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
hair
but-
and his skin, like he's just white.
They actually have that filter where all you can see is the eyes and the mouth of the person. So that's what I'm picturing when you said that. Oh my god, that's so funny. Poor Felix. Okay, Claudia. Sorry, we
Sorry.
interrupted you. I don't even know where we're at.
Yeah, hold on, give me a second.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we were on the survival show. I don't know how we like it's like the stupid rabbit hole, you
Oh.
know, you go down and then everybody scatters around and
I think it was because like it was like I don't even know how we got off the topic, to be honest.
I think we were talking about personalities and Lino and Felix being eliminated.
Oh yeah, that's right.
oh yeah.
Because of Bing has charisma or whatever.
Yeah.
So the other member that was complimented by JYP was Changbin, and how his rapping he definitely killed that rap basically. And JYP like noticed that, and he was just saying that it was just so clean, and he just loved hearing it, and it just showed how much passion that Changbin had for his rap. And it's just like out of everybody's rap there, his was the best, which let's be honest, of course.
You know how many months it took me to not hate JYP?
Oh, I'm
I'm
still
not
on
there
that.
yet.
Yeah, I'm not there yet either.
Now, when I watch the survival show or just clips, I'm still so mad about that. Like
He
I'm,
Gives me
I'm
the uncle vibes.
Yeah,
well,
Yeah,
he may
right.
be a really nice guy, but he just is really creepy to me. But I mean, just from I feel like Changbin did when I see stuff like that. I'm like, Changbin's like giving him the side eye, like, meet me
he
outside.
definitely does not appreciate
yeah.
some of the comments that JYP's made, especially about how Bang Chan's not a very good rapper, or he doesn't like need to be in that group of Three Bracha or whatever. And I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah, so
know.
I have a feeling a lot of baby stays once they see the survival show feels like the rest of us. Like it's really hard to get over that hate for JYP. Like for months, every time his face would pop up, I would just go into a rage. So
I still get that way.
Welcome to being a JP stan. It happens to everybody.
I know, right?
I just feel like, it does not help that he just stays silent for a good part of everything that goes on, like we never get comments from him. All we hear is like, oh, JYP's like stocks are rising up, and we still don't get comments about it, like he doesn't even say, oh, thanks to Stray Kids, they're doing such a great job. Nothing. I don't hear nothing from that man. I think
I
that's just
just-
another thing that
I-
angers them is that he doesn't show us appreciation much.
And then he
I
thinks he's
think-
gonna jump into a video with Sungmin of all people,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
and like he should have talk about trust fall. Sungmin's like, just catch me. I
Yeah.
don't trust you guys. Like, why are you gonna
If
trust
it had-
Sungmin of all people to catch your
If
ass?
it was Chang Bin, he would have been lying on that floor.
First of all, it seemed like Singman did hesitate, and that's why he almost did fall. Or it was just like he was like, "Crap, I guess I gotta catch him, huh?"
He's my boss. Oh!
He really had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, if it had been Chang Bin, I think he would have been like, "Oh, so sorry, I didn't know you were gonna fall. Here, let me
But
help you
my-
up."
My favorite though is for him to like bust on people for being visuals and their appearances and stuff like that, and then for the dude to say in the one behind the scenes thing, you know, yeah, I thought about getting plastic surgery, but JYP's not good looking either. So
Yeah, yeah,
First of all,
yeah.
do y'all remember seeing a video of JYP actually performing on stage or whatnot? And it's with like these two girl dancers, and it was just like
was
the most
gross,
cringiest
wasn't it?
performances. Yeah,
It was just
it really was.
gross.
The
Greasy
faces
Uncle
of
vibes.
all of them.
greasy
Yeah,
uncle vibes.
yeah, big time.
It was
Like,
definitely one of those performances where you tried to act sexy and it just did not work. It was like an ultimate fail.
it's like,
And
dude,
Bobby
take off
Seale.
the sweater vest and go look in a mirror. I mean, we don't have to see you in a shirtless sleep sweater vest all the time because that is not sexy in any way.
Just all
Not
jogging up.
not even a little bit. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm like you though, but when he's like bugging about somebody's visuals and stuff, and I'm like, has that
Look-
dude like not seen himself in a mirror like ever?
Has he not seen himself in any MV that he put out with his freaking old wrinkly ass?
Ugh.
But it's not even
I-
just that, like he does give off like that amateur feel when he performs as well. And the fact that in the Stray Kids reality show, he mentions that a few times too. Like he's just like, "Oh, you know, Ian, you just seem like an amateur to me or whatnot." And I'm just like, my boy, have you seen your performances?
Right,
Because same.
but
Which
I
is
do
why
have-
them clowning him is my absolute favorite thing, especially on stage. Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
I'm
I
pretty
do
sure
have
that's
to
them
give
getting
him-
back at him for
yeah.
those comments.
I do have to give him props for being very laid back about the way they make fun of him, because I don't think they're as laid back about it. I do think there's probably just a tiny bit of malicious intent when they do it, and he doesn't like.
We all
I don't know.
Segment definitely has malicious intent because he literally mentions that most of his cloning stems from JYP getting who he was.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have to give him props for not being so overly sensitive about it, because man, they do
Well,
it a
But
lot.
let's be honest too. JYP could not vocally hold a candle to any
Mm-mm.
one of the members.
Nope.
And
At all.
I feel like, how is he, of all people, judging singing competitions
Yeah.
when he, you know, he tries to set an example for how someone should be performing and he can't support any of the notes that he's trying to sing vocally. It's like,
Yeah. And I think what I love most about Channy is, you know, JYP's like, why would you write it in, you know, the women's vocal range? And Channy sits there and he takes it, and then the next song, it's even higher. And the kids nail it. And I'm like, you go,
The
Channy.
the fact that they like did so well on Elevator anyways, and then he commented about it being in the female vocal range, yet I'm just like, you question why he does it, but the members are doing it. Why
Mhm.
question something the members are pulling off, you know?
Yeah, there
It's-
was
he's-
because you know, and you know that you wouldn't have seen it if they weren't pulling it off correctly.
Yeah.
You know, Channing would have never allowed it to
no.
be seen. He would have changed the key. But the fact that they are consistently pulling that off, and that the majority of them have a pretty decent falsetto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felix has
They-
to.
But Felix
the thing
still,
about-
his vocal range is insane for being
And
as
I would
low as
love
he
to
is.
see Chan get him, like, not keep pigeonholing him in that super deep vocal
Yeah.
range, because in Deep End, his vocals on that were
Amazing.
unbelievable.
And Lee No even commented once that he's like, man, why do you keep giving me these high notes? And Channy's like, well, you hit them. So,
Oh yeah, I
you
remember.
know, yeah. I think he's struggling a little bit on stage with his limbo. I've seen several videos and I'm like, I love you, Lee No, but man. Yeah, but I think just JYP pushing and pushing, just it makes Channy push back in the most subtle ways. Cheese. You know, he doesn't come out and like downright go after people, but yeah, we
Most
all
of their
know.
songs are a bunch of like fuck you songs. So
Yes,
Mhm.
very much so.
Social Path is a huge fuck you song.
Oh yeah, I love that song. I think it's probably one of my favorites now that it's came out. And Lisa just, she compliments
it
the
so-
kids
yeah, she
so
sure does.
much. I would love to see a couple more collabs with her. So at least she got more than 7 seconds on a song.
that song basically sounds like it could be in an. It does. It's like an.
We only caught like 1 syllable per word.
I said that song sounds like it could be like an intro and an.
Yeah, it's so good. I really want to know the backstory of that, because it really sounds like it's right after debut that he wrote that song. That, I mean, my opinion, that's what it sounds like to me, is he's saying, y'all tried to
I
hold me
would
down,
agree.
you threw all these obstacles in my way, and we hurdled, and look at us now.
I would agree, because I do think that it was also written 100% in English, and that
Yeah.
some parts of it were translated so that it could be released on the Japanese EP.
Yeah.
Because you know that this man has got 10 years worth of music on that laptop.
Oh, easily.
Like,
even
they
more.
could still probably release 2 or more full group albums when the guys go to do their military service. You know, I
think I do think that Channy's working that like that, so that we are never without music while the
But
kids have to go do their stuff.
I also fully believe that Chan has, and Three Racha or any of them that have written these songs, they have manifested literally all of their successes. To sing about Tiger JK, to sing about, you know, to have their tag be Stray Kids everywhere all around the world. You really are everywhere all around the world. You are, you know, all of the songs that they're putting out and the success that they're singing about, you know, he's written this stuff a long time ago and manifested the success that they're having.
Oh yeah. When we get to the Stray Kids lore, you start seeing this stuff. Like, he had to have been planning this out since the time he was 13, 14 years old. There is just no way that, you know, they put out a song called Super Bowl, and IN's like, well, I wanted Super Bowl rather than God's Menu. And it's like, how long ago did y'all even put out God's Menu? It's even older than that. It's just the amount of
I think they put up
of
Buzz Menu back in 20.
intellectual level of these kids to do this is just mind-blowing.
But you can also see when Han has contributed on certain songs, because you can almost guarantee that the word cocky is going to be in there.
Yeah, there's definitely different. Han is more of a lyrical rap, a lyrical person, where Changbin, he goes out and finds. I actually heard him when he said he went to the library to look up song titles to make sure that their song titles were original, different words. He finds new ways of skewing the words, like no easy is noisy, but that is all a Chain Ben thing. So they just, like I said, the amount of IQ level on these kids is just astonishing. Like they're so smart.
It's amazing how well they all fit together
Mhm.
and how diverse truly the group really is, but that because I know IN has said before about how he struggles to find a place in certain songs or struggles to figure out how he's going to fit in with certain music. And he always does. Chan always
Yeah.
carves out a spot for him, but he is developing into an amazing performer, I think, because he is kind of put in some more difficult positions with some of this music and having to adapt his style to suit that. Not to mention, this man is growing up on stage in front of us with the muscles and the tongue and the.
Yeah. There's been some very questionable clips going around, and I'm like, you are not. Oh, I know. He's totally doing. He's been taught by the best. I mean, Lee No wanted to start corrupting him back when he was 15, and I would not doubt one bit that he hasn't helped do that.
So my thing is, he's up there pulling up IN's shirt. I know you got a scar on your belly. We all want to see the scar on your belly.
Right. Yeah, I think that's like a Korean thing. I think that he would get a lot of heat for it in the Asian countries where we are like, yeah, baby, bring it on. I don't think I don't think Westerners would care one way or the other. But somebody in one of the groups this morning was like, when are we going to see Sunman's abs? And I'm like, probably never, because that's just not what Sunman does, nor does Lee No. And even Hunjin and Han, we've gotten to slip here or there, but they're not doing it intentionally. I think Han did it
Han has.
intentionally but it was like years ago, and he doesn't do that anymore. He just lets Felix and IN and Shang Ban or Bang Chan have it. And of course, Lee No's over there yanking everybody's shirts up. So, one of these days.
I think, again, when we start seeing them, military services start happening, I think we're going to see a different side of some of these guys.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Not for them to go into military, but I'm excited to see
The uniforms.
How they grow.
Tune in next week for part 2